Hi everyone, this is Mohi from the Bar Model Company. Welcome back to another one of our videos in our Blooming Bar Models series. Previously, I've been a head teacher and a head of maths as well. And for the last about 10 years now, I've been a trainer, training schools all around the world on not just the bar modeling approach, but also visualization, maths mastery, and many other aspects of maths. In today's bar modeling video, I'm going to jump onto my whiteboard and tell you all about multiplication by going through an example. So it says here, James has 3 times as many cards as Mary. Altogether, they have 72 cards. There's no question as such at the end of this paragraph, so I'm going to just take you through this scenario. Now, one of the key suggestions that we give schools who are just trying to introduce the bar modeling approach is to start off with scenarios for the older children, right? So the children that are in upper key stage 2, even lower key stage 2 as well. Because scenarios allow you to just develop your bar modeling understanding rather than focus on the arithmetic side of things. So it says James has 3 times as many cards as Mary. How am I going to represent that, class? What would you do? Can you use some bars to represent this part of the problem? And so what you want, if children have mini whiteboards, for them to kind of show on your mini whiteboard, this is what this scenario looks like. That way, you're not worried about any multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, or any 2, 3, 4 step problems. You're just thinking about, can my children see the problem in a visual way using the bar model approach? If they can, great, because if they've got the arithmetics right, then they're going to easily solve this problem. Okay, so let's have a look. So James has 3 times as many cards as Mary. How am I going to introduce this to my class if they're stuck, if they're not sure, they've never seen the bar model approach? How am I going to suggest using the bar model approach? Well, I might start with asking, who's got the least amount? Does James have more or less cards than Mary? James has 3 times as many, so that means James has more, right? So Mary has the least amount. So the class, let's start off with Mary. I've got Mary here, and she's got this amount of cards. I'm just drawing a bar to represent how many cards Mary has. It doesn't mean she's got 1 card. It just means we don't know how much is in her box of cards, let's say, right? She's got a certain amount of cards in her box. We don't know how many. How am I going to represent how many James has? Let's write down James and let's try to draw a model for James. Class, what does this represent? This represents that James and Mary have the same amount, right? So I'm just going to duplicate that so it's precise. There we are, and drag that down. Okay, so this represents that James and Mary have the same number of cards. So after that, what can I do, class? How am I going to show that James and Mary have the same? Is that what it's asking us in the question? Is that what it's telling us? No, it says James has 3 times as many. Okay, so what am I going to do? We can use another bar, right? Here we go. Does that show that James has 3 times as many cards? It does, right? Because there's 3 parts, there are 3 bars. Oh no, it actually represents twice as many. James has twice as many. If Mary has 5, James will have 2 lots of 5s. That's 10. Oh, that's twice the number of cards that Mary has. So 2 bars is not right to represent James having 3 times as many cards. So we'll do that one more time then, class. We'll represent James having 3 times as many cards as Mary by showing 3 bars for James and 1 bar for Mary. Does that make sense? Can you see why now James has 3 times as many? What else do we know? What has the question told us? I know. I can see that they've got 72 cards altogether. So all of these bars that are represented here for Mary and James represents 72 cards. And that's how we represent this question using the bar model approach. Now, this is a great question because you can just kind of visualize this problem really quickly, but then also this kind of problem appears in ratio, in fractions, in percentage, same type of model, okay? And we're just getting our kids, if they're early in bar modeling approach, getting them used to the bar modeling approach. But when they look at fractions, percentages, ratio, they're going to be so super efficient. And on top of that, they're going to be very confident at solving those types of problems as well. So whatever the question may be here, it might be that we asked to work out how many Mary has, right? That could be a question. It could be that we're asked to work out how many more cards James has. That could be the question. It could be that we're asked to work out how many cards James has altogether. That could be the question. Whatever the question is, we can see there are 4 parts that represent the whole, the total number of cards in this case. And the whole or total number of cards here is 72. So what do we have to do? We've got 4 units. What we can say is 4 units, 4 of these equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. That are equal to 72. So 1 unit must be equal to 72 divided by 4. I know 80 divided by 4 is 20. So 72 divided by 4 is going to be 2 less 4s, 2 fewer 4s, I should say. And therefore 1 unit will be equal to 18. So each of these parts are equal to 18. 18, 18, 18, and 18. So we can say Mary has 18 cards. We've got that equals 18. We've got James has 3 times 18. 3 times 20 is 60. 3 times 2 is 6. So 6 is equal to 654. So that's going to be 54. And James has 2 lots of 18s. That's going to be 36. James has 36 more cards than Mary. So whatever the question may be, you can see it's quite quick and easy to solve because we can see the problem much more clearly using the bar model approach, and hence we can solve whatever the question asks us to solve. And so hopefully this has helped you and understand how how multiplication can be seen using the bar model approach. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask away below. If you liked this video, please do help us and support us because it takes quite a lot of time to make these videos. And we hope that they're quite helpful for you, obviously. We hope that you're benefiting and you can kind of pass that knowledge on to your school. If you're looking for some bar model training or just maths training, maths mastery, visualization, whatever it may be, if you're looking to introduce new books, new resources, and you need someone with specialist knowledge on the visual approaches to teaching maths in the most efficient way, then feel free to contact us and we would love to support your school. If you have any other comments, do feel free to write them below, or if you want to contact us, just email us on info@barmodel.co.uk and we would love to hear from you very soon. Take care everyone. Bye.